Todd, I'm going to bring this to you first. But remember, we have a specific fan base that is either going to kill you or love you. So I'm going to bring it to you next. Kaz, if you don't know, we are talking about the Cleveland Brown fans that love stats over politics.
They hate us.
Fact or cap? Russell Wilson is the worst quarterback in the AFC North.
Oh, boy. So we got Lamar Jackson. We have Deshaun Watson. We have Joe Burrow. And we have Russell Wilson. Oh, my God. It's a toss-up between Russell Wilson and
that's what it comes down
to. It is a toss-up. Hey, Kaz, you got a coin? You got a coin? Kaz, can I get you? Can you flip a coin for me? Just flip a coin for me.
All right, here we go. Hey, I got coins on deck. This ain't going nowhere.
We got coins on deck.
What do you got? Heads? What? Tails? What?
We got heads for Russell Wilson. We got tails for Deshaun Watson. So go ahead. Bam.
Tails.
Deshaun Watson is so. This is a cat. And I'll tell you why. Cleveland fans, I'm looking you dead in the face right here. We all saw what Deshaun Watson looked like last year. Now I get he was injured, but was that like at the beginning of the season? Because Jesus, what was going on the whole year? We even had our boy. I remember when our boy Damian Barling, shout out to D-Lo and Casey, came on the show and said, "Oh my God, Deshaun Watson is just so garbage." I love Deshaun too, man, and I really do. Like, I watched him in college. I remember specifically there was a game when Lamar. It was the Louisville versus Clemson. I remember like running home from. I don't remember what I was doing just to watch that game because that was just one of the more premier games for that year for college football. And then kind of seeing him coming in to the league and kind of setting the league by storm and then tearing his ACL in practice, which was kind of crazy. But then coming back and kind of winning a couple of crazy playoff games. And dare I say he was up on Mahomes 1 year in the playoffs. They were up 21. They were up. As for audio only listeners, Shaun took the liberty of writing on a piece of paper that Deshaun Watson is a nasty man. And you know what's crazy, Shaun? I finally figured out where you got that from. You got it from the Bomani Jones show. I started listening to him. Pretty good listen, even though we kind of just gave him a free promo.
Very good listen. Shout out to Bo.
But I mean,
nasty.
Russ, man, he was not statistically. Russ didn't really play bad statistically. It's kind of like if you're looking at the optics. I think Russ had like a 26 and like 9. Shaun, you can pull up his stats from last year. Russell wasn't stat, but Deshaun Watson didn't look good at all, and I was the guy kind of screaming from the heavens that, are you guys regretting this signing, this $230 million guarantee? And it was kind of caught it early too, kind of right before, he got injured, and then we were seeing, Joe Flacco coming in and, PJ Walker and all those guys
DTR.
coming in. And DTR, like I was kind of saying, like something's not right with Deshaun, man. And it could be because of injury, but I'm basing it off of last year. Who was the worst quarterback, and now Russ kind of coming into the league. I'm going to say that Russell Wilson is not the worst quarterback in the AFC North. So I'm going to say that this is a cap.
All right, Shaun, I'm going to bring it to you next. Fact or cap? Russell Wilson is the worst quarterback in the AFC North.
This is cap. Jaevon asked me to pull up the stats for Russell Wilson last season, and I did. So he had a 66.4% completion percentage. That was redundant. 3,070 passing yards, 26 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions for Russell Wilson. Those passing yards, 3,070, ranked 19th in the NFL. 26 passing touchdowns, 9th in the NFL. That's top 10. And as far as his 8 interceptions, it says tied 91st. I don't really know how that works. Shout out to ESPN. But it's QBR, 50.7, which ranks 21st in the NFL. So those are pretty mid stats. But the point is that he wasn't the worst quarterback in the NFL. I think if I pulled up Deshaun Watson's stats right now, it would be some of the worst stats in the NFL. And once again, I will reiterate, Deshaun Watson is a nasty man. He's a nasty man. If you read all the reports and investigations
on field,
and everything,
on field.
Okay. On the field, Deshaun Watson is the worst quarterback in the AFC North. He probably plays in the best division in football, just off the top of my head, when it comes to overall quarterback depth. I mean, maybe one of you guys can interject right now and tell me if you can think of a division with 4 better quarterbacks collectively. But it's a blessing and a curse. Deshaun Watson, he plays in a division that has so much quarterback talent, but by proxy, that means Deshaun Watson ultimately is the worst quarterback in the AFC. And so this is cap. Russell Wilson is not the worst quarterback in the AFC North. That distinction belongs to the nasty man.
Cleveland fans, we want all the smoke.
You want all the smoke. So, Kaz, I'm going to bring it to you next. Factor cap. Russell Wilson is the worst quarterback in the AFC North.
It's Cap, bro. It's Deshaun. I mean,
I'm not crazy on this.
No, it's look. I'm a Russ hater. Not that I actually dislike Russ. He just the last 2 years has pissed me off because when he went to Denver, I was like, all right, we're gonna see some KC. Watch out. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. I'm like, bro, come on, man. You're an elite level quarterback. You've been to 2 Super Bowls. I believe we talked about this in the last podcast I was on with you guys, but it's just like he makes me so mad. Like I'm like, God, Russ, like sometimes you got to be that guy, and like when it's time to be that guy, you out here throwing, game losing picks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Taking an unnecessary sack. It's like, bro, you know better than that than to do that. So, he makes me mad, but no, Deshaun. Listen, I watched Deshaun. I didn't understand the signing when Deshaun got. Nobody understood that shit. That made no sense. And then we got to see him this season. Granted, he did get hurt, but we got to see him. They had a great defense. He had guys around him that can make plays. And what stood out to me was Deshaun Watson. Actually, somebody in my chat on Twitch, somebody said Deshaun Watson was the second best quarterback on the Browns. so I mean, yeah, we ain't gonna sit there and say Russell Wilson was ever the second best quarterback on any team.
Dare I say is Deshaun Watson leading the Browns to the playoffs?
Yeah, no, I mean Myles Garrett will. That defense will. But no, Deshaun Watson is for sure hands down the worst quarterback in that division. I don't think it's even close.
Well, like they say, there's always one.
God damn it.
Factor cap. Russell Wilson is the worst quarterback in the AFC North. Cleveland Browns, stand up, dog pound. You guys forget when Deshaun Watson played 16 games, like Kaz was mentioned, with Kirk Cousins, 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 9 picks, 28 touchdowns, 7 picks, 33 touchdowns, 4 picks. You guys are forgetting.
How long ago was that?
Hold on. There's been one time Patrick Mahomes played an AFC Championship game on the road, and can somebody tell me who that was against?
Wasn't Deshaun Watson?
Well, it was
Deshaun Watson. That's when they gave was a divisional.
It was the divisional round, and it was in Kansas City, but they came back from down like 24-3 or whatever.
Yeah, so he had him on the ropes. So you guys are talking about you don't understand the deal, why they made all this money?
How long ago was that?
Let me ask you this. Was there ever a time in your life where you looked up and said, Russell Wilson's the top 3 quarterback in the NFL?
Yes.
I think so.
What?
Close.
Bro, there's no way, Toddy. There's no way. You know how long he's been playing?
Kevin, when the last season that he had in Seattle, he was the leading MVP candidate for 75% of the season, and then he flamed out to end the season. And so to say that he was a top 3 quarterback at one point, at some point in time, I would say he was.
At one point.
You guys.
Even if it was
Rodgers,
even if it was like
he played with Peyton Manning was still in the NFL. Like there's never a world where you guys said he was a number 3 quarterback. We used to say that about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
I don't think you're honestly thinking about that. You know how many quarterbacks he's played against? He's been in the league for a minute, fellas. So the guys that are retired are still playing.
I can confidently say both guys at one point in time are probably top 3 quarterbacks at one point in time in the league.
I don't know if we can say that about Russ, man. There's a lot of good guys back in the day that Russ has been going for a minute. So with Peyton Manning, with Eli Manning, with Tom Brady, like there's a lot. Aaron Rodgers,
Eli Manning. Kevin, you're killing your own argument here. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm 2-time champ. Beat Tom Brady twice. No one would say you're crazy for it.
We're talking regular season stats, right?
No one would say you're crazy about it. I don't think there's ever been a time where Russell Wilson has ever been a top 3 quarterback. So that's why I'm going to say this is.
I think you're kind of backfiring your own self, and you might go viral by accident.
Unfortunately, I can't even clip it because I thought I had a whole take about him and Patrick Mahomes going on the road, and it was all wrong. So
that didn't happen.
My take will just make the YouTube segment. And Cleveland will rally with me, and then they'll hear me, and then they'll be like, "God damn it! I think the other 3 guys were right." So I tried, Cleveland. I had the dog pound. I had all my notes right here.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Yeah, nope. I don't think they're riding with me. I'm sorry, Cleveland. I let you down. So this is gonna get a lot of views, and I was trying to rally us. I was gonna go last, and I thought I had some notes, but unfortunately, I didn't. So